I have no hair. This is a months-old picture and I have no hair. The decision to get the hair, like this new look, came days before the media day of season 9, but hindi pa rin siya nag-register. Let's just say that. I'm still processing. I know I said I was processing when it was first announced days ago. I don't know. I'm not used to this. I'm not. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sobra. Thank you guys so much. You guys voted, and I'm sure a part of this was also from behind the scenes, right? Prod, Moonton themselves, whoever that may be. Thank you for the appreciation and trust all these years. But yeah, allow me to bring you on the journey as I figure out exactly how we did this and how we can continue doing this, right? Obviously, this is not an all-encompassing video. Hindi lahat ng babanggitin ko dito ay lahat-lahat na sumatotal ng kung paano natin to nagawa and how we continue to do this throughout all these years. But I'd like to share with you exactly what I learned from this through the past seasons. And now that it's here, just to show you how much I appreciate it, hihimayin natin. So again, thank you for this season's award of becoming Best English Caster. I honestly still don't know what that means. As it left my mouth, hindi ko alam kung anong responsibilidad ang nakaatas or ang naka-attach dun sa titulo na yon, But yeah, first up, I said this already out loud and I tweeted it. I said it on social media and everything. There's nothing new. We did nothing new this season. Literally, the only new thing here is maybe a few suits and the new hair. Obviously. Well, we've done everything the same for the most part. And what is that same thing, right? Number one, preparation. Obviously, preparation. As you saw in a previous vlog, it's the same. We still take notes. We prep every single day, every single week. We study. We think of our suits, right? Very much. There has been no single similar suit from this season. I'm sure this season. Guys, yun yung sekreto kung bakit kami otids ng otids. At least, I think for me, I use it as a reference so I don't repeat the same suit ever. There have been similarities. I think week 3 and 4 or week 2 and 4 of season 9 were kind of the same, but I think they were different shirts or different ties. So walang 100% similar. Week in, week out, nakakasawa yun kung may kaparehas. And I think that's very important. So, how you present yourself, the package. Kasi nga, that's our wardrobe, right? Even for M3, when I packed for M3, and even Cebol, when we casted the national qualifiers, it mattered. I really thought about it, like every time may big event, alam kong mahaba yung run niya, a weekend, playoffs or something, even like a season long, talagang iisipin mo na kung mix and match mo doon. It's what makes you different from the person who will just throw on anything, right? Na pag pinisipan mo, it makes a difference. And you know the saying, right? Never judge a book by its cover. Well, people are gonna judge you by your cover, right? So you gotta make sure that cover is exquisite. Make sure that you look excellent. Diba? Na pag tinignan ka, I'd listen to this person. And then when they do eventually listen to you, that makes sense. So that's number one, prep. And I think very important for prep is, again, your studying, your knowledge, your consistency, your game IQ, obviously, and your wardrobe. Super, super important. And then when it comes to the actual execution, to the performance of casting, I think one thing that I really focused on and made sure that stood out is our Once Upon a Times. I started doing Once Upon a Time, specifically season 8. That's when I started writing everything down. Season 7, medyo shooting off the top tayo nun. I haven't really watched all of my opens from season 7, but season 8 for sure I can remember. So about a year now, maybe a little bit more. Sinusulat na natin yan, and it does so much for storytelling. It really does. It does so much for the mood and expectation setting of your audience and even your partners, right? Half the time hindi ko kinikwento sa mga partners ko, whether it's a duo or trio, kung ano yung open ko, but they're more often than not, again, it also checks how prepared they are. More on that later, but that's your part. I believe that's your responsibility as an anchor to set it up, to like have the foundation of what's gonna happen in this matchup, and then yun yung carpet mo para dun sa partners mo. And of course, not just the setup, not just the foundation, but also the direction, diba? I take a lot of this from my influences in sports entertainment, professional wrestling. A lot of my inspirations from there include Jim Ross, Michael Cole, a little bit of the old school stuff, Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era, konting PG, and then now I'm recently just starting to get back into it. Pat McAfee, bago lang sila sa akin. Mauro Ranallo, they really wasted him there. Corey Graves, these guys, their direction is superb. Ang galing kasi when you watch wrestling, it's super duper like 101 when it's storytelling 101. In wrestling, one guy is always the heel, or one side is always the heel, which is the bad guys, and then one side or one professional wrestler, one other guy is the face, so the good guy. Heel versus face. In esports, it's not always bad guy or good guy, pero you can use that as a reference. You can use that as, one is for sure this, the other is for sure this. How is that gonna clash? Or, if they're similar, the next angle you choose is, paano sila mag-iiba? At the end of this, ano na sila? Kasi hindi sila pwede maging same isa talo And then what's that gonna mean? So that can be your direction and your foundation too. So that really helped. I honestly believe that really helped in storytelling and setting up. So that's one big part of my broadcasting for the longest time now, not just season 9. And of course, let's just bring in our partners. Let's bring in the other parts of the performance. As an anchor, again, linalatag mo yan And this is part of sharing the show. This is part of trusting your partners. Now, ito yung latag ko, guys. This is what I set up. I trust that you also prepared. Anong laman nito? What's the meat here? How do we go from here? You steer us. Here's the base. Anong laman, right? And that's them. That's the meat. Honestly, as an anchor, medyo I'd like to believe medyo red skull tayo. We lead others to that which we cannot have, diba? Yes, anchor does sometimes get awesome play-by-play moments, but when you're really listening, when you're watching, it's the caller and the analyst that really shine. I'd like to think kasi sila yung naglalagay ng laman. They're the ones who say, "Oh wow, player so and so is amazing." Sila yung make claims, diba? And then the analysts are like the prediction gods when it comes to draft or to making sense of the play. They're the ones who look like 150, 250 IQ. That number is so realistically smart. I could have said 9 million. Pero it's them who are so smart that they share it with the audience, who then in turn also feel smart. I'm just the dude. I'm just the guy, diba? So that's how I integrate anchoring with the other roles, and that enables and empowers everyone. I like to think, and that's how that ties into the performance as a whole. And then you have this new thing, right? I just started this season post season 8, I started this M3, and I honestly now appreciate it all the more. Vlogging, video content. Oh my god. I have a YouTube channel now, and it's a very humble YouTube channel, very small still, but I now understand and recognize that it's super essential because kung sino kami sa broadcast, kung sino kami sa desk, yes, that's amazing. That's a character because you've grown with us, you've seen the league, you've watched us through thick and thin, emotion, competition, all of that throughout months, now years for some of us. Pero iba pa rin kapag naririnig mo lang kami ng ganito on a personal level. I think this gives us an avenue or a window to show our humanity. Kung sino nga ba talaga kami. And this is me. This is me. If you watch my vlogs and you're watching this right now and it sounds like me on the desk, well, that's because who I am on the desk is a huge part of really who I am. For the longest time, especially when I was in radio, I always thought that Leo was a mask. I always thought Leo was a bordered figure. I always thought that when I put on my suit or whatever, like when I turn on the mic on the radio dati, I always thought it was a character. I always thought it had to be like, oh, ito si Dan, ito si Leo. Iba yan. You can't put them together because if the lines are crossed, you lose who you are. I learned in esports, man. I learned in esports, and especially through vlogging, that doesn't always have to be true. You can share who you are. And if who you are here, there, everywhere is similar or is one and the same, it makes the product, it makes what you do all the more important, and that makes you relatable, that makes you real. Obviously, meron pa ring filtering, right? I can't say things that'll put me or people around me or the things I represent and care about in jeopardy. It's like real life. Like, you can't say things in front of your diba? Like, you know the saying, like, you kiss your mother with that mouth? You can't say that. You can't be that way. So parang ganun lang. And I believe this platform, you know, especially after all my learnings, it gives me more to share. It gives me myself to share, diba? This piece of me. So I appreciate that. And in the end, it's all because it's in service to the community. I always say about the open at your service, and I mean it every single time. Yes, this is a job. Yes, this is an occupation. Yes, I do make a living out of it. But in the end, nakapagod siya. And if you do not have a higher purpose, if you do not have a calling to this, mapapagod ka, and you will not have a reason to wake up the next day. Besides the fact that kailangan kumain. That you can do most any other thing. Diba? Sumasahod naman lahat, pero hindi lahat sumasahod na nakangiti or nang masaya at gustong gawin to panghabang buhay. And that's what this is. It's a blessing that I appreciate you. I appreciate what I get out of this, and I hope that you know what? I don't hope. I know now that you guys appreciate me, and I think that is something I was thankful for even without it. Even when it was very quiet, even if it was just, you know, working in the league, masaya na ako eh. Na nandito ako for years on end. And kahit natahimik lang yung mga nakaka-appreciate, okay na ako eh. Like, thank you. The fact that I'm here, that I have a job was great. But now that I know that you're out there and I'm seeing all of these and hearing these words of praise and appreciation, honestly, that made me feel a little weird. Naiyak ako sa iba. Right now, I'm actually I'm tearing up a bit because I've been doing this for years now, fam. I've been doing this for years, and truth be told, I was happy. I was happy na tahimik lang na yung mga katrabaho ko lang, si Moonton, my other clients, the other orgs that would hire me, that they always get me, that they keep in touch, that they trust me. Pero ngayon na pati yung fans, you guys, community, yung sinasabihan ko parati araw-araw ng at your service, you guys finally spoke up, and I had a goddamn script for this thing, and crying was not part of it. Hindi ko rehearse. I just wrote it down. Let me show you. Yeah, I had a script for it, and crying wasn't part of the script. Pero Uh, no, really, it means shit, things not straight. Is this the same angle? I don't think it's the same angle anymore. But alam nyo na yun. I guess what I was just gonna try to say was thank you. This means more to me than I can put into words. And I'm usually the guy who has all the words, the right words. Pero ngayon, I think the right word is just thank you. I want to do this for reals, no cap, until I can't anymore. I don't even want to think of the situation that I won't. Kasi sobrang saya ko. And sobrang fulfilling na maglingkod para sa inyo. Right? So, thank you. Thank you. I won't let you guys down. Your trust will not be put to waste, and your appreciation will... It's still something I do not know how to process. Pero, thank you. Thank you. I'll see you guys when I see you. And yeah, as always,